Alrighty, so this video we're going to cover sections 1-3 and 1-4 just because they're pretty closely related here. Okay, so the main terms you really need here are factor and multiple, and I think they're easy to get confused. The main thing I want you to think about is going back to when you first learned multiplication, we talked about, factor times a factor equals a product. Okay, so factors make up a number. Okay, they're kind of like your building blocks if you want to think of it like that. Okay, so factors they're parts of another number. So we could say that 6 times 8 equals 48. 6 is a factor. 8 is also a factor. All right. Next up, the other term that we're going to need is a multiple of a number. All right, so a multiple of a number, if you want to think of, like your skip counting, if you count by fives, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, that kind of thing, those are all multiples of 5, okay? So they're products of that number, and another number there, okay? So multiple of a number, again, think skip counting. Etc. there are all multiples of 5. Okay? So, factors are your pieces of a number, multiples are your products of of numbers. So first up, I want to talk about a prime factorization. And all we're going to be doing there is break a number down to all prime numbers. That's kind of what the name is. So what I mean by that is, we can go back up to 48. Okay, so you can start this off any way you want with 48. If you want to break it down 6 times 8, 4 times 12, 3 times 16, does not matter. I'm going to go with 3 and 16, just because 3 is prime. So you're going to make one of these factor trees, and you're going to stop whenever you hit a prime. So 3 is prime, but I did 3 times 16. Okay, 16 is not prime. 16 you can do 2 and 8, 4 and 4. I'm going to go 2 and 8. 8 then, 2 and 4, 4, 2 and 2. So we get down here, and we have all these numbers at the bottom of the tree. That's going to be your prime factorization. So 48 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Yeah, we got 4 of those at the bottom, times the 3. But just to clean this up, we have 4 2s, so I'm going to write it as 2 to the 4th times 3 as my prime factorization of 48. Let's do another one of those. Let's go with, how about 72? So again, 72, you can start it out any way you want. If you want to do 8 times 9, that's fine. Doesn't matter how you get started. It's one of those things, just kind of start putting pen to paper. If it's an even number, you can just go 2 and whatever else. Just do 72 divided by 2 and get 36. You just want to start breaking these numbers down into more manageable numbers. So again, we already did 8. That was 2 and 4. And then 4 was 2 and 2. Those are all of our numbers at the bottom of the tree there. 9 was 3 and 3. So 72 is a nice one. We have 3 2s. So it's going to be 2 to the 3rd. And 2 3s, so that'll be 3 squared. It could also be as simple as 35. 35 is a real easy one. Breaks into 5 times 7. And that's it. okay? But all your numbers in these answers for your prime factorizations, it's going to be a lot of 2s, 3s, 5s, 7s, 11s. There shouldn't be, it's got to all be prime numbers, okay? You can't have, like a 6 or an 8 in here. Those are not prime numbers, okay? All right, so last thing we're going to talk about is least common multiples. All right, so the least common multiple, LCM, which I'm normally going to say, Six and 8 is a good example here. 6 and 8 have a lot of common multiples, but you're looking for the least common multiple. So your multiples of 6 are 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36.
Can you do me a favor and call security? 2211 is live.
Yeah, I'll get it done.
Thank you. Sorry to bother you.
All right, sorry about that. And then your multiples of 8, 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. You got to pick the least common multiple, so that'd be 24. I know they have other common multiples, like if you kept going with 6, you have 42, 48. So you have 48 is a common multiple, but the least is 24. All right, so that's the main thing, is just making sure you pick the least common multiple of numbers. This is the easiest way to write it out. This is going to be important thing moving forward here when we talk about least common multiples. You got to make sure you're picking the smallest one there. So just one more example. So our multiples of 12 would be 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 15, you have 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. So your least common multiple is going to be 60 there. Okay? So, and again, that's least common multiple. I don't think there's going to be any questions about greatest common factor, but just to mention that. Again, going back to factors here. So that's why you refer to that as GCF. Greatest common factor, like 20, and let's go with 35. You got to take a look at your factors. 20, you could have 1 times 20, 2 times 10, 5 times 4, 35, 1 times 35, 5 times 7. Your factors, you're breaking a number down. Your greatest common factor there would be 5. All right, one more of those. Again, so your factors of 42. Two times 21, 3 times 14. 4 doesn't go in, 5 doesn't go in, 6 times 7. 72, you have 1 times 72, 2 times 36, 3 times 24, 4 times 18, 6 times 12, and 8 times 9. So you have a lot of common factors here, but your greatest one is going to be 6. All right. So a lot of terms there, but we're just going to practice mostly today with the prime factorizations and least common multiple and greatest common factor. All right, have a good day.